Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Adam Ratliff with Adam So Fun, and you are in week 2 of the 2022 ASF December Quilt Along, or whatever. Hashtag ASF December QAL 2022. That's right. So we're gonna do on our next step of our quilt. Last week we created our blocks. I'm making 2 of these, so this is the black and white version. So we created our blocks. This quilt is all being done with the V-Block trimmer by Studio 180. If you're interested in this ruler, go back to week 1. You can see how it works. And if you're interested in getting one of these, you can you can email my friend Kimberly Flannagan, who is a certified instructor for Studio 180. She'll give you a discount if you give her the ASF 10 code. Or you can also pick them up usually at your local quilt shops. But you know me, I like to shop local. Or the little guy, I should say, because Kimberly's not local, she's on the East Coast. But I do love this ruler. I really like Studio 180 stuff, but I fell in love with this one because it makes these blocks so easy. So this is a V-Block trimmer. We use this, we cut out our spots. We only had to make 6 blocks, which was 24 units. So we didn't have a lot. This week is gonna be super easy. Like, this is like the easiest quilt along you've ever done. Everybody can finish it because it's literally this week we're cutting strips, sub-cutting them and piecing them together. But I did wanna talk about this. These blocks have a lot going on in the center seam. And I was messing around the other day. I'm gonna press some blocks while we're here. My handy dandy LauraStar. I love that I can sit it on the ground. It takes its base, I can stick it here next to me. And there's so much steam, so much steam. This seam is super thick, right? And you might be wondering, like, what is he doing? This is me going off on a tangent. This is how I press whenever I need things to press straight. I will hit it with steam to set my seam, and then I use my fingers to finger press it, pop it down, and then I come in with my iron and I'll steam it. Weird. I don't know. Am I the only one that does that? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. And then I can come in and steam the rest of it. Oops. And then there. So this seam right here is going to be really bulky, and one of the things, like, we don't want that bulk there. It really doesn't matter. Long arm's going to go through it either way, but one of the things we can do is we can spin this seam. I gotta get my seam ripper. Sorry, I had to go get my seam ripper. This is one of my seam rippers. This is from Sawyer Creek Artistry. I love these things because it has the seam ripper on one side and it has the stiletto on the other. Oh, I can't piece without it. Especially these blocks, the stiletto is fantastic. So what I'm gonna do is, so I steamed my block. I could end it right here. That's it, great. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my seam up, because usually I would press these seams open, but I'm gonna open my seam up and pull the seam. So I wanna show, I'm gonna come close. If I can get over there. Oh yeah, I can. I'm gonna stand behind them. So this is what my seam currently looks like. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna pull the threads. Oops. I'm gonna pull these out from here. So it's gonna open this piece up, and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And I'll pull these stitches out here, and it's gonna open these up. So when I press it, I'm gonna be able to press these to spin. We're gonna call this spinning it. I don't know what the technical term is, but I'm gonna press these the opposite ways. Oops, I'm gonna press these the opposite ways, and you'll see the little design we get. Let me go back. I learned this from Judy Niemeyer when I was at a retreat in Montana, because on the LauraStar quilt, when you have 8 pieces coming in, you really don't want all those seams open right there. I gotta see which way they're going. I can hear my dogs. They're probably wanting to get into trouble about now. There we are. Okay. So now I'm going to end up shifting those seams. So I had pressed one seam to the left. I'm going to press it back to the right, but the other one's going to stay to the left. Don't shoot steam at your belly. All right, so now my block is pressed. My seam is spun. So I'm gonna come back up so I can show you at the camera. Ooh, I added some light. All right, so here we are. So now how this is pressed, this seam is coming down, this seam's going to the left, this seam's going up, and this seam's coming to the right. So in theory, all my seams are spinning, so they're going the way that they want to fill. And I've opened those two pieces up, so this one can still press there and here. And now this lays super flat, and the bulk is still there, but it's just gonna lay a lot flatter. So there's only 6 blocks. It doesn't take that long to do. So it's one of the things to help alleviate the bulk in those seams. Now, again, do you have to do it? No. You're gonna be totally fine if you don't do it. I'm gonna go in and stitch the ditch. And when I stitch the ditch, when I go into that center piece, I'm not gonna get the like boom that sounds like you just like shot a shotgun. I was stitching one of the quilt a few weeks ago, and the long arm was running, and every time it hit that center, it just made me laugh because it sounds like a gun's going off. So I'm gonna do one more since I'm here and I already got it started. So that's a little tip for last week. This week, we are working on, we just have to do our strips. So we're cutting strips. You all know how to do that because you're a quilter. We're gonna cut with the fabric strips, subcut them into the sizes that we need, stick them together. Ooh, there we go. Sorry, it's like I can only do one thing at a time. It's kind of amazing how much that alleviates that bulk. If you've never done this, other than the time consuming, but like Bonnie Hunter, I think I saw, she does something, I don't know what she calls it, but when we did it with Judy Niemeyer and you do it with the Lone Stars, I mean, you can see the same kind of design and the seams that you spin. It's weird, but that bulk just lays so much flatter. Okay, so that's it. We're spinning my seams. I gotta put this down. All right, so that's just a little trick on pressing these blocks. Again, if you have already pressed them and you're like, well, they're already done, you can go back and do this because I don't know why. I was like laying in bed one night and I'm like, why didn't I spin those seams? And then I came in the next day and I did that. So here's blocks and I'll put those here. So this week we're just cutting strips. You're gonna have to go to the website, adamsofun.com, click on the blog up at the top, go to the latest blog post, and it will show you the cutting instructions for this week, because it's really just cutting strips. All right, so for this week, we're just gonna be cutting with the fabric strips. We're gonna subcut them, and then we're gonna put them into our quilt. Or we're gonna piece everything and put our quilt together. So this top strip, 2.5 inches. We want it to finish at 2. So we have a 2.5 inch with the fabric strip. We're gonna subcut that down to 2.5 by 34. The next strip down, this is our 1 inch units that make a 2 inch block. So we need another 2.5 inch strip. So we'll need 3 2.5 inch strips altogether. Next block down, this is our 2.5 inch unit that makes a 5 inch ending block. So we need a 5.5 inch strip because right now it's not finished. So we'll need a 5.5 inch by width of fabric, and then we're gonna subcut it into the 2 sides. So when you go online and go onto that blog post, it will tell you what each strip and what strip sizes you need. But really you need 3 2.5 inch strips, 1 5.5 inch strip, 1 7.5 inch strip, 1 8.5 inch strip, 1 10.5 inch strip, and 1 12.5 inch strip. So, and I believe that's it. Don't quote me, go online, it's in the blog post. But what we're gonna do is you're gonna cut those strips. I have them hanging back here for my black version. And once you have your strips cut, the blog post is gonna tell you subcut this into 2 sizes. You'll cut it into 2 sizes. Then you will sew the them onto your block. The block's always in the center of the strip. So I think this is the 8.5 inch strip, which is a 13 and a 14 inch piece, because we're going to end up ending at 34 inches wide. So I've done my 10, my 12, and my 8.5. So, or my 8. So this is my 12 inch strip, or I guess it's 12.5 because it's not finished yet. And then my 10. And so this one's just going to have a little bite on the side. Once you get this done, you can put these in any order that you want. You don't have to lay it out like mine. Remember, it's your quilt. You can do it however you'd like, just like the December Diamonds of last year. You could do whatever layout you want. I might actually lay mine out a few different ways because I already have the Tula one that starts small and then goes big. If you want to not like have your strip look like this is my 10 inch strip, and if you want the star to fit a little more in the center, customize this. You're still going to need that 10.5 inch by width of fabric strip, but your ending piece needs to be 34. So if you cut it and then sew your block in the middle and then just measure a 34 inch strip and then trim it down to 34, that's going to work. So however you want to do it, we just want all of this beautiful negative space. In my case, I'm like looking at this, I'm like, this is black, you're not going to be able to see any of the stitching. But I'm doing something different for the black one for my educator challenge. So we're going to I'm going to wink, wink, we're going to be able to see the stitching. But I'm going to get going on my blue. That's it. So do me a favor. If you haven't already, follow me on social media, AdamSoFun with an S-E-W on Facebook and Instagram, where you see a lot more that doesn't hit the channel. Go to the blog post so you can download, and I will link it in the description, but go to the blog post so you can download the instructions. If you're interested in this ruler, you don't have to have the ruler to do the quilt along, because I did make a blog post and I do have the paper piecing templates, so you can paper piece it if you'd like to do that instead. But if you're interested in getting a ruler, any Studio 180 ruler, any Studio 180 anything, you can contact Kimberly Flannagan. Her information will also be in the description below. Anything else, if you want a LauraStar, hey, I'll link those below. This is my lift. I can't go up too high because it's plugged in. And usually, I would be able to go up that high, but the plug or the cord is sitting on a box. I don't know. If you have any questions, reach out. If you are making it, post pictures. I'd love to see what you're doing, because I really get excited when I see the projects you're working on. Go join the So Fun community on Facebook if you're on Facebook, where we post a lot of pictures and you get some ideas from some other people in the group, and then you can see people who maybe are new to long arm quilting and they're already doing a ton of stuff because they're not scared. That's the secret. Don't be scared. But yeah, cut your strips, put your quilt together, make it however you like it. It's your quilt. I want you to love it. And we'll see you next week where we play in Designer so we can talk about how we might quilt this. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do different quilting ideas. I'm gonna do some stuff in Designer to show you how, like, well, if you wanna do it like this, you can customize with Pro Stitcher. If you don't have Pro Stitcher, we'll talk about how to make stencils for negative space if you want to pull inspiration from these blocks. There's a lot of stuff you can do, and you don't have to have Pro Stitcher. It just makes it easier. So remember, at the end of the day, it's just quilting. We want to laugh. We want to have a good time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified when new videos drop. And we will see you on the flip side, everyone, right before Christmas. And hopefully we finish this by New Year. But hey, if we don't, we don't, because at the end of the day, it's just quilting. We'll see you next week. Happy holidays, and I hope you're having a wonderful December, everybody. Don't forget to hashtag ASF December QAL 2020. Bye, everybody.